Now, with the British weather often being what it is, people quite often come in to tell me that you should never buy a car in the rain. Does that apply for dealers too? Because that's exactly what I've just done. What I've got here is a 2013 Jaguar XJ Luxury that I have just picked up from Cornwall with my truck and trailer. So I haven't even driven it yet, and I bought it in the rain. So I haven't even had a good look around the car. But what I do know about it is I'm quite excited to have it into our stock. It's only had 2 private owners from new. The last one's owned it since 2017, and it has the most tremendous service history that backs up the 54,000 miles that this car has driven. But I'm yet to see any kind of paintwork because the weather is atrocious. So let's get it into the showroom, dry it off, and have a good look around it and assess what I've just bought. Maybe I should have listened to other people's advice, because I've dried the car off and we're not off to a strong start. Needs a bit of love, shall we say. Just see how flat the paintwork is. Got this all over it near the handles as well, which sun cream will do that to paintwork. But the paintwork itself is just so flat. But it's like it all over the car, and it doesn't look like it's had a respray. I think what it is the chap that had it really loved a bit of TFR, and it's really quite abrasive when you put it on. It's good for removing the tar and bits from the car because there's none of it on there, which leads me to believe that maybe he's just sprayed it all over the paintwork, kind of let it dry a little bit before washing it off, or just used it far too often. I'm not entirely sure, but the paintwork is just so dry and flat. And I know dry is the wrong word to use, but it's kind of how you describe it. So I'm really hoping that with a good machine polish, we'll be able to get that up to normal standards. And then inside, again, it could be to do with sun cream or moisturiser or something, but the steering wheel is disgustingly gross. So we're going to use a magic sponge on leather. It works really, really well. The seats themselves aren't so bad. Needs a little bit of love just on the bolster here, but we're hoping it will clean up relatively well. But the inside of the car, it is lovely, really nice colour combination. I quite like the wood. Sophie doesn't. She thinks it's very old man spec, but I quite like it. But just needs an almighty clean throughout. The buttons are very typical to do this type of thing in the older Jaguars. We've had it before, but again, magic sponge is going to work. It's magic, pun intended, to get that up nice and clean. So yeah, we'll get the polisher out. Sophie's going to start the inside. I'll start polishing the outside. Try and get a comparative between doing one door and leaving the other, and we'll see how the paintwork comes up. But yeah, stick with it. I still think we've got a really nice car here, and also we booked the alloys in with Tony, so we're going to drop that off to him tonight for him to do the alloys tomorrow. They're not terrible by any means, but just want to make sure that we are doing the best that we can with this car. The mileage is lovely and the service history is fantastic, most of it with Jaguar, including the timing belt being replaced on these 3-litre engines, which is very important. So yeah, it will make a lovely car, but my goodness, does it need some love. We'll get on to it. A little update on the polishing. So I've spent about an hour on it so far. Only done a couple of panels, but just to show you the absolute difference that a good polish can make. So I have done this rear quarter and this rear passenger door. So I'm very pleased with how they come up. But just to show you the difference, so this one's polished and this one's not. So you can see a very, very clear difference between the two doors. This is so dull and flat. So that will look like this. But it has taken a fair bit of work to do so. So we do a 2-stage polish, a nice heavy cut to get all of the marks out, and then you have to do a lighter cut, which gets rid of the kind of the haziness that the heavier cut leaves behind. But very pleased. The colour's gorgeous, actually. It's a really nice colour. Desperately needs to be done all around the car. This is, again, this hasn't been touched. And it's all quite bad. But on the rear quarter and the door, it's looking good. Eddie's all excited for it too. But I reckon it's going to take me a good few hours to get this done. It's a really long bonnet on an XJ. And this all needs to be done. And of course, all down this side too. So yeah, bit of a bit of a mission to get it all done, but I'm hoping it will be well worth the result. And then obviously Soph's been cleaning the inside as well. Steering wheel's come up, an absolute treat. So that's looking loads cleaner now, and the buttons are cleaned up really, really well. So very, very pleased with how it's coming along. And the bolster's looking better too. But yeah, it's going to take hours to get this polishing done, but it will be worth the end result. So yeah, I'm going to spend the next few hours doing this before we drop it over to Tony to get the alloys done. It has, no joke, taken me over 4 hours, and I've still got a few more bits that I want to do, but we do need to get it over to Tony's. Very, very pleased with it though. It is coming up really, really well. Obviously done both sides, all the wing, all the bonnet. I want to go over the bonnet again with the finer stuff, just because it's such a big surface area. When the sun hits it, you don't want any haziness there, and I just feel like it just needs to go over again. But we'll do that when we get it back from having the alloys done, and I still need to do the back of the roof as well, which is going to be a bit more of a difficult panel to get to because of the way you have to polish and apply pressure, etc. But it is looking so much better than what it was. You can see my clear reflection, which is good. The boots come up really, really well. So yeah, very, very pleased, but it does take hours and hours and hours of my time to do it. But I do think it'll be worth it. I mean, the car just looks, in general, so much better, having spent a full day on it, and obviously still trying to take phone calls and sell other cars, etc. But I'm very, very pleased with it. So yeah, as I say, the alloys, they're not bad at all. The two front ones are the worst ones on the top edges on this particular angle. I mean, it goes all round really. So we'll get those done to make sure that it is 100%, get it back into the showroom, finish the polish, and then, weather permitting, we might even get it advertised before the weekend, but we'll see. We'll catch up in the morning. Okay, so just collected the XJ from Torbay Powder Coats from Tony. He's done the alloys and he's done a fantastic job, as he always does, so I'll show you those in a minute. But this is actually the first time I've driven the car, so I didn't even drive it before I bought it, and I bought it 3 days ago now. So I've been running around the last couple of days, and Tony's just needed to sort a couple of bits out on the alloys, but it is now looking fantastic. But yeah, I haven't actually driven it until this moment here. Soph drove it over to Torbay Powder Coats, and she noted a wheel wobble just in the steering wheel, so nothing through the vibration of the car into that, but just in the steering wheel, a wheel wobble. So I asked Tony to check that out, see if there was any buckled alloys or anything like that, and he actually said that they were one of the straighter set of alloys that he's worked on recently, so it wouldn't have been that. But he has balanced them all properly, obviously, because he takes the tyres off to do the refurbishment of the alloy wheels. So when putting the tyres back on, he does balance them properly. And I've just driven up Long Road, it's called now, and there's no wheel wobble present at the moment. So it could have just been a balancing issue. But obviously this is a 2013 63 3-litre diesel XJ, and I think they're really a popular engine choice for these cars. They've got plenty of torque, the sound insulation is very good, so it's not very noisy up at the front here, and there's a lot of power there as well, really. It's one of the better engines that they have in the Jaguars, and they certainly don't suffer like they do in the Range Rovers, because of course they're not pulling along such a big car, and it's just plenty of smooth delivery of power. I really do enjoy driving these with the 3-litre, although I do also have an XJL. It's a 2015 reg, different colour combination, different spec inside. It's got the carbon, it's a bit more modern, bit more fresh feeling in the 15 plate, but that has the 3-litre V6 supercharged petrol, which is 340 brake, and that really is quite good fun to drive. The long wheelbase, it's nice to have, but definitely not a necessity. Some people prefer not to have the long wheelbase because, of course, parking spaces are seemingly getting smaller. So obviously the standard wheelbase XJ is still quite long. The longer wheelbase is going to be a little bit more difficult to park. But it does drive ever so well. Everything feels really quite tight. Obviously it's a lot nicer being here now. That has had a good valet. The steering wheel is nice to touch. And the gearbox seems nice and smooth, engine's nice and smooth, obviously no warning lights or anything like that, but it's to be expected given the service history. Obviously I do normally drive cars before I buy them, but I was running around like a madman, spur of the moment, decided to go and buy this car, but seemingly seems to have come up really, really well. Very, very pleased with it. Service history is stunning, we'll go through that in a bit. But we're now going to get it back to the showroom. I'm only 5 minutes away from the showroom. I'm going to get back inside because I want to give it another polish with the lighter polish, because I just think it would benefit from it. A couple of bits that I've seen in the sun already that are a little bit hazy, so we'll get it back into the showroom now and go over it one more time with the finer grit, and then after that the plates have turned up. Always look good with a fresh set of plates on there, and yeah, we'll go through the service history and kind of see what's what. And there we have it. The Jaguar XJ that I bought in a torrential downpour is finally showroom ready, and I am genuinely very, very pleased with how it came up. Didn't have any wheel wobble on the drive back. Took it on a bit of a faster road as well to make sure that it wasn't something that happened just at speed, so it must have just been a tyre balancing issue. But this is, I haven't actually told you what it is, it's a Jaguar XJ luxury specification, which is kind of mid-range on the list of specs that you could choose from. Obviously the portfolio being the top spec, luxury sits just below that one there, which means it does have a decent spec, but not absolutely everything. But I'm still very, very pleased that I bought it, just because the mileage is fantastic at 54,000 miles. It has had 12 services, and 10 of those have been at main dealer, including the timing belt change as well. So yeah, very, very good folder full of history, which I'm very pleased with. The paintwork has come up absolutely lovely, even in the sunshine. There's no haziness or anything like that. So yeah, really, really pleased. The alloys obviously look fantastic, because Tony always does a great job. I kept them in silver just because I think it's a really classy colour combination. And again, going on to the inside, it's cleaned up really, really well. I love the colour combination with the brown leather, the wood, the ivory seats, etc. All works really, really well. So yeah, the luxury specification has things like the cruise control, but doesn't have a heated steering wheel. It does have the heated seats. It's got the rear camera and the front and rear sensors, so certainly not a bad spec. Doesn't have the Meridian sound system, but to be fair, the standard one's pretty good. So it is pretty mid-range on the spec, but I just think it's going to be a really popular car of ours. So we get a colour combination for one and a service history for two. So yeah, I think it's going to be amazing value now at 11,995. I think they just look so much for the money as well. So yeah, really, really pleased with it. The only thing I've got to do is to change those plates. As I say, they're inside, so I'll get those done. I'm not sure whether I'm going to have time to advertise it this side of the weekend. I'd really like to, but we've got a few appointments this afternoon and a few bits to do running around wise. I'm hoping the weather kind of stays off as it is, because I might get half a chance later, but we'll find out as the day goes on. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, because the numbers are really growing, so I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you for the next one. Thank you.